Gaslighting trap. How to escape this destructive technique. Copyright 2024 NLP Radio Inc. Introduction. Imagine waking up every day with an increasing sense that something is wrong, not in the outside world, but within your own mind and memory. Events you remember clearly are suddenly called into question. You participate in a conversation, but when you refer back to it, you're told that no such conversation ever took place. You begin to lose confidence in your perception of reality, and you don't know why or how. But is this truly your problem? Or is there something deeper and more sinister at play? This book takes you into a dark and complex world where the truth shifts in ways that push you to the brink of doubt. A world where someone with hidden motives slowly erodes your sense of self and what you know to be true. Gaslighting is one of the most destructive and sophisticated psychological techniques, capable of alienating you from yourself over time. But this book is more than just a study of gaslighting. It is a guide to defending yourself against those who may use this technique to make you dependent and exploit you. Each chapter equips you with the tools and insights needed to recognize, confront, and overcome gaslighting. Additionally, the book concludes with solutions, illustrated by the stories of individuals who have faced and overcome this insidious problem. By reading this book, you will reclaim your facts, restore your lost confidence, and protect yourself from psychological abuse. This book will arm you with the knowledge and power to defend yourself against any attempt at psychological manipulation. If you are seeking a conscious, safe, and successful life, read this book carefully. Each chapter serves as a shield for your mind and soul, providing you with the keys not only to protect yourself from gaslighting, but also to ensure your success and happiness. Welcome to the world of truth, where no one can distort your perception of reality except yourself. Chapter 1. What is gaslighting? Imagine walking into a room and immediately sensing something strange. The lights are a little dimmer than usual, but when you point this out to others, they look at you and say, "The lights are perfectly normal, you're wrong." At first, you ignore it, but over time, more and more things happen that make you doubt your perceptions. You no longer know what is really happening and what is just in your head. Are the lights really getting dimmer? Or are you losing your grip on reality? This seemingly simple scenario is an example of a dark and complex technique called gaslighting. The term comes from a 1940s film called Gaslight, where a man tries to make his wife question her sanity over time by making small but persistent changes in the environment and then denying them. This movie was not only a psychological thriller, but also showed us how one person can destroy another's psyche with constant and subtle manipulations. Gaslighting is essentially a form of psychological abuse where one person seeks to make another person question their own mental reality. This technique is implemented gradually and covertly, bringing the victim to a point where they no longer trust their memory, perception, and emotions. The person who uses gaslighting aims to gain complete control over their victim by instilling doubt in their mind. But why is gaslighting so powerful? Why can this technique have a deep and lasting effect on people? The answer lies in the gradual and insidious nature of the method. Gaslighting is not done with a single sudden action but through hundreds of small, imperceptible acts. This technique slowly and silently erodes the victim's self-confidence, eventually bringing them to a point where they no longer trust themselves, even in the simplest matters. Example: imagine that in a marital relationship, one partner constantly tells the other that their memory is faulty. Every time the woman remembers exactly how an event happened, the man tells her, "It never happened. You always remember things wrong." At first, the woman ignores these statements, but over time, these constant repetitions gradually cause her to doubt herself. Is her memory really weak? Could it be that what she remembers so vividly never happened? This is exactly where gaslighting comes into play. The victim no longer knows what is real and what is only a figment of their imagination. This doubt causes them to become more dependent on the abuser because they can no longer trust their own judgment. Gaslighting can occur in any type of relationship, from emotional relationships to work environments and even within the family. The abuser can be a spouse, manager, coworker, or even a parent. What's important is that this technique is used deliberately, and with the intent of dominating another person. In the rest of this book, we will take a closer look at various gaslighting techniques and ways to deal with them. The goal is for you to be able to identify this technique in your life and protect yourself from it. Only through awareness and knowledge can we safeguard our minds and psyches from this type of psychological abuse, ensuring our path to success and happiness. Chapter 2: Signs of Gaslighting. Having been introduced to the concept of gaslighting, you now want to know how to identify this technique in your life. Gaslighting is so subtle and covert that you may not notice its signs at first. However, over time, its effects become more apparent. This chapter will help you recognize the early and advanced signs of gaslighting, so you can take action before it's too late. One of the first signs of gaslighting is self-doubt. The abuser will constantly tell you that you are wrong, or that something you clearly remember never happened. This will gradually cause you to doubt your memory and understanding. This process usually starts with small, frequent denials and gradually escalates to bigger and more serious denials. Example: let's say you and your partner have discussed plans for the weekend and have agreed to visit friends. But when Friday night rolls around and you're ready to leave, your partner says, "I never said that. We agreed to stay home this week." You distinctly remember making the plans together, but they speak as if you had it all wrong. This kind of behavior makes you doubt yourself, and you may even start to wonder if you really do remember things incorrectly. Another sign of gaslighting is the creation of a sense of helplessness and dependence. By instilling doubt in you, the abuser tries to make you dependent on them. They act in such a way that you feel you need their help to understand what's real. This dependence gradually leads you to stop trusting yourself and to rely on them for decisions, even regarding the simplest matters. Example: in a work environment, your manager may constantly tell you that your work is incorrect or change their expectations frequently. Every time you try to do your best, they say, "That's not what I wanted at all." Over time, you no longer know how to meet their expectations and begin to depend on their opinions and guidance, even for the simplest tasks. Another symptom of gaslighting is a sudden change in feelings and behaviors. You may find that you suddenly feel sad, anxious, or even depressed for no apparent reason. These changes are caused by the continuous psychological pressure imposed on you by gaslighting. The abuser will constantly pressure you until you feel trapped in a downward spiral. Example: in an emotional relationship, your partner may constantly criticize you and say that you're not doing anything right. They might belittle your feelings or reactions, saying, "You're too sensitive," or "You always make a big deal out of things." This kind of behavior makes you feel unworthy, and you find yourself constantly trying to please them without success. Chapter 3: Gaslighting Methods. Now that you know the signs of gaslighting, it's time to delve deeper into the ways in which abusers use this technique. Gaslighting may seem subtle and complex at first, but by understanding its various methods, you can better protect yourself and avoid falling into the traps of this destructive behavior. 1. Denial. One of the most common methods of gaslighting is the outright denial of events that occurred. The abuser will unhesitatingly deny facts to make you doubt your memory and understanding. They may repeatedly and firmly say, "That never happened," or "I never said that," even though you are absolutely certain it did. Example: imagine you and a colleague participated in a business meeting where important decisions were made. A few days later, when you try to act on those decisions, your colleague says, "We never talked about this. Maybe you're wrong." This type of direct denial will make you doubt yourself, and may even lead you to review notes and conversations to ensure your memory is accurate. 2. Distortion. In this method, the abuser may distort facts and retell them in a way that confuses you or makes you feel you didn't understand something correctly. These distortions may involve altering small details or even changing the entire narrative of an event. Example: you discuss an important issue with your partner and reach an agreement. But after a few days, they tell you that you phrased it differently and that the agreement you remember was never made. They might say, "No, we didn't agree on that. You said." This distortion will make you doubt your understanding of the conversation and rely more on their perspective in the future. 3. Dismissal. In this method, the abuser may ignore your feelings, concerns, or experiences, trivializing them. They may tell you that you are being overly sensitive or that your worries are unfounded. Over time, this dismissal can cause you to doubt yourself and feel that your feelings and experiences are not valid. Example: you express concern about your partner's cold and indifferent behavior and talk to them about it. They respond, "You're too sensitive. It's nothing at all. I just have a lot of work." This kind of dismissal makes you think you are the problem and start blaming yourself. 4. Chaos creation. The abuser may constantly create an environment full of chaos and confusion to keep you in a state of disorientation. This chaos may include frequent changes in plans, shifting narratives, or creating conflicts and contradictions. Example: your manager constantly changes plans during meetings, and when you try to stick to one of the set plans, they say, "No, it's not like that. We decided to do it differently." These frequent changes make you feel confused and unable to function effectively. 5. Guilt tripping. Another method of gaslighting is making you feel guilty. The abuser may blame you for something you are not responsible for, or make you feel guilty about your feelings and reactions, putting you in a weaker position. Example: you express your opinion in an argument with your partner about an issue that is important to you. Instead of addressing the issue, they blame you for bringing it up and say, "How can you be so selfish at a time like this?" This type of response will make you feel guilty and hesitant to express your desires in the future. Each of these methods can be used alone or in combination to drive you into self-doubt and dependence on the abuser. However, understanding these methods gives you the strength to resist them and protect yourself. Chapter 4. Psychological consequences of gaslighting. Gaslighting, with all its intricacies and subtleties, can have profound and devastating effects on the mental health of its victims. This technique not only causes pain and suffering in the moment, but also has long-term consequences that can seriously damage a person's self-confidence, mental health, and social relationships. In this chapter, we will examine the psychological consequences of gaslighting and analyze how it affects its victims. 1. Decreased self-confidence. One of the main consequences of gaslighting is a severe decrease in self-confidence. A person who is constantly denied, distorted, and dismissed will gradually lose confidence in themselves. They begin to doubt their judgments, abilities, and even their feelings. This decrease in self-confidence can directly affect their ability to perform daily tasks and face life's challenges. Example: imagine a mother who is constantly gaslighted by her husband. She gradually comes to believe that she is a bad mother and cannot properly care for her children. Her husband consistently distorts her daily behavior and tells her that their children suffer from mental problems because of her shortcomings. This false belief, caused by her husband's constant distortions, leads her to lose confidence in her role as a mother and feel powerless. 2. Depression. The effects of gaslighting can lead to symptoms of depression. When a person is repeatedly subjected to psychological abuse, they may experience feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and worthlessness. These feelings can gradually develop into deep and chronic depression, accompanied by symptoms such as disinterest in daily activities, sleep disturbances, and changes in appetite. Example: a woman who is subjected to gaslighting by her manager at work may gradually develop depression. Her manager constantly downplays her successes and magnifies any small mistakes she makes. Over time, this behavior makes the woman feel that she can never meet her manager's standards, leading to feelings of worthlessness and deep disappointment. 3. Anxiety. Gaslighting can lead to severe and chronic anxiety. A person who is constantly trying to discern reality while dealing with erratic changes in others' behavior may develop anxiety. This anxiety can keep them in a constant state of alertness and stress, negatively impacting their quality of life and ability to manage stress. Example: a man who suffers from gaslighting by his wife may constantly worry that he will not be able to meet her expectations. His wife continually questions his behavior and decisions and blames him for unrealistic mistakes. This situation keeps him on edge and anxious, even when there is no immediate problem. 4. Social isolation. Gaslighting can gradually lead to social isolation for its victims. A person who is constantly questioning their own reality and experiencing a decline in self-confidence may, over time, avoid participating in social activities and withdraw from social interactions. This isolation can seriously damage a person's mental health and social relationships. Example: a woman affected by gaslighting from a family member may gradually avoid attending family and friends' gatherings. She feels that no one can understand her and avoids any social interaction due to the gaslighting. This isolation makes her feel more alone and hopeless, further distancing herself from her relationships with others. Understanding these consequences will help you fully comprehend the effects of gaslighting and take effective measures to address it. Our goal is to help you overcome the negative effects of gaslighting and restore your mental health and social relationships by providing useful and practical solutions. Chapter 5: How to Prevent Gaslighting. Preventing gaslighting and protecting yourself from this destructive psychological technique requires awareness and practical measures. Understanding and addressing gaslighting will help you avoid these abuses and safeguard your mental health and self-confidence. This chapter provides practical strategies for identifying and dealing with gaslighting, helping you protect yourself from this technique and achieve a healthier life. 1. Keeping documentation. One of the most important measures to prevent gaslighting is keeping accurate records of conversations and events. By taking notes on your daily conversations, decisions, and interactions, you can obtain evidence that will help you prove the facts. These records allow you to refer back to the facts when needed and defend your understanding and memory. Example: a woman who realizes her husband uses gaslighting techniques decides to take notes on conversations and daily events. She keeps a special notebook to document the details of important conversations and decisions, carefully recording any changes or inappropriate statements. These notes help her better understand reality and provide evidence to defend herself against her husband's denials and distortions. 2. Consult with trusted people. When faced with gaslighting, consulting with trusted and caring people can help you gain different perspectives on your situation. These individuals can offer advice, support, and help you better evaluate the facts. Talking to friends, family, or professional counselors can help you better understand the situation and find effective solutions. Example: another woman affected by her husband's gaslighting regularly consults a family counselor. The counselor helps her identify her husband's behavioral patterns and provides effective strategies to deal with them. Additionally, this counseling allows the woman to share her feelings and experiences with a neutral and professional person, receiving emotional support and expert advice. 3. Strengthening self-awareness. To deal with gaslighting, it is essential to strengthen self-awareness and self-confidence. By paying attention to your feelings, needs, and beliefs, you can deal with gaslighting more effectively. This includes knowing your feelings, needs, and beliefs accurately, as well as striving to maintain mental and emotional health. Example: a man who faces gaslighting from his manager in the workplace decides to strengthen his self-awareness and self-confidence. He improves his mental health through mindfulness exercises, meditation, and sports, and increases his knowledge and skills by participating in training courses and reading books. This strengthening of self-awareness helps him stay resilient against the negative effects of gaslighting and face challenges effectively. 4. Setting boundaries and self-protection. To avoid gaslighting, it is necessary to set boundaries and take care of yourself. You must clearly define what behaviors are unacceptable to you and react effectively when confronted with such behaviors. This includes learning how to say no and taking steps to protect yourself from psychological abuse. Example: another woman suffering from her husband's gaslighting decides to set clear boundaries. She tells her husband that certain behaviors, such as denying facts or distorting information, are unacceptable to her, and she will respond accordingly if these behaviors continue. Additionally, she takes steps to protect her mental health, such as engaging in stress relief activities and consulting a counselor. 5. Consulting legal professionals. In cases where gaslighting occurs in the workplace or other legal environments, consulting legal professionals may be necessary. Lawyers, human resource professionals, or relevant legal authorities can provide the information and advice needed to deal with gaslighting in a legal context. Example: a man who realizes he is a victim of gaslighting by his supervisor at work consults a lawyer specializing in labor law. The lawyer explains his rights and legal options to deal with the supervisor's behavior. Additionally, the man consults the company's human resources department to officially report the gaslighting behavior and receive support from the organization. By following these strategies and taking practical measures, you can effectively deal with gaslighting and protect yourself from this destructive psychological technique. Remember that self-awareness, documentation, and consultation with trusted individuals can help you maintain your mental health and self-confidence and lead a healthier life. Chapter 6: Ways to deal with gaslighting. In this chapter, we will comprehensively examine practical ways to deal with gaslighting. The purpose of this chapter is to introduce you to tools and techniques so that you can protect yourself from this destructive tactic and achieve a healthier life. This chapter will teach you how to recognize gaslighting, how to respond, and how to prevent psychological harm. 1. Identification of gaslighting. Knowing the signs. The first step in dealing with gaslighting is to understand this tactic and its signs. You should be able to recognize behaviors that cause you to doubt yourself. Some signs include distorting reality, denying your experiences, accusing you of being overly sensitive, or making you feel insecure and lacking in self-confidence. Recognizing patterns. Gaslighting usually occurs continuously over time. Identifying repetitive patterns in gaslighting behaviors is crucial. If you find yourself repeatedly feeling like your perception of reality is distorted, you should consider the possibility of gaslighting. 2. Documentation of events. Recording conversations and events. One of the most important tools in dealing with gaslighting is recording events and daily conversations. These records help you to better understand reality and, if necessary, provide evidence of gaslighting behaviors. Use of technology. You can use digital tools such as mobile notes or emails to record conversations and events. These documents can help you access the facts when in doubt. 3. Strengthen self-awareness and self-confidence. Self-awareness exercises. To deal with gaslighting, you need to strengthen your self-awareness and self-confidence. Meditation, yoga, and journaling can help you calm your mind and trust your feelings and experiences. Self-affirmation. Regularly remind yourself that you are a sane and strong person. Self-affirmation exercises, such as writing positive affirmations and reflecting on your strengths, can help boost your confidence. 4. Advice and support. Professional counseling. If you feel you have been affected by gaslighting, counseling with a psychologist or professional counselor can help you better understand your situation and learn coping strategies. Support from family and friends. Share your experiences with people you trust. The support of family and friends can help you better understand reality and provide emotional support. 5. Determination of boundaries. Setting clear boundaries. It is crucial to establish clear and firm boundaries against gaslighting. You need to let the gaslighter know that their behavior is unacceptable and that you will not allow them to distort your reality. Enforce boundaries. Once you set boundaries, you must adhere to them firmly. This may include reducing or discontinuing communication with the gaslighter. 6. Confronting gaslighting. Confronting the gaslighter. If you feel able, confront the gaslighter directly and express your concerns. This should be done carefully and at the right time, as the gaslighter's reaction may be aggressive. Use positive language. Use positive and confident language when facing the gaslighter. For example, instead of saying, "Maybe I'm wrong," say, "I'm sure that happened." 7. Disconnection. Disconnect from the gaslighter. In some cases, the best way to protect yourself from gaslighting is to completely disconnect from the gaslighter. If this person is a family member or spouse, you may need legal advice or additional support. Rebuilding life after a breakup. After a breakup, give yourself time to heal and adjust to your new life. Support from friends and family, psychological exercises, and counseling can help you rebuild your life. 8. Education and awareness. Educate yourself and others. Educating yourself and others about gaslighting and raising awareness about this tactic can help you and others avoid it. Books, articles, and training courses in this field can be useful resources. Spread awareness. Raise awareness about gaslighting among your friends, family, and community. The more people are aware of this tactic, the less likely they are to fall victim to it. Conclusion: dealing with gaslighting requires awareness, self-awareness, and the use of practical techniques. By thoroughly understanding this tactic, documenting events, building self-confidence, and using appropriate support, you can protect yourself from gaslighting and lead a healthier life. This chapter provided you with practical tools and solutions to help you deal with gaslighting and rid yourself of its negative effects. Our goal is that by using this information, you will find the strength and courage to face gaslighting and achieve a life full of self-confidence and peace. Chapter 7: True Stories of Gaslighting Victims. In this chapter, we'll explore real-life stories from people who have been directly affected by gaslighting. These stories show not only the pain and suffering that the victims experienced, but also their resilience in rebuilding and healing. By reading these stories, you can gain a better understanding of the victims' experiences and find inspiration on how to overcome similar challenges and achieve a healthier life. Story 1: Journey Back to Self. Summary: Sarah, a 35-year-old woman, was in an emotionally abusive relationship with her husband, Amir, for 6 years. Amir continuously used gaslighting to convince Sarah that she was wrong and misunderstood the facts. He often told Sarah that she was unaware of important issues, and no matter how much she tried to explain the facts, Amir would distort them. Challenges: Sarah gradually developed low self-confidence and depression. She constantly felt that every decision she made was wrong, and as a result, she distanced herself from the opinions and support of her friends and family. Solution: Sarah decided to consult a close friend who was a psychologist. This friend helped her better understand the facts by taking notes of conversations and carefully examining the situation. Sarah also talked to her family and received emotional support and professional counseling. Result: over time, Sarah was able to decisively get out of the unhealthy relationship. She experienced a significant improvement in her mental health and self-confidence, and achieved peace of mind. Sarah's story shows that with the right support and the courage to change, you can escape gaslighting and live a healthy and happy life. Story 2: Rebuilding Self-Confidence After Gaslighting in the Workplace. Summary: Daniel, a 42-year-old man, was facing gaslighting from his manager at his workplace. His manager constantly downplayed Daniel's successes and exaggerated the small mistakes he made. This behavior made Daniel feel that he could never meet his manager's expectations, leading to anxiety and depression. Challenges: Daniel faced serious problems with self-confidence and mental health. He was constantly worried that he would not perform well, and this anxiety affected his work performance and personal life. Solution: Daniel decided to consult a professional counselor for stress management and self-confidence improvement. He attended regular counseling sessions and learned stress management and self-awareness techniques. He also started keeping notes of his successes and strengths to have evidence of his good performance. Result: with the help of counseling and practicing stress management techniques, Daniel was able to rebuild his self-confidence and effectively cope with the pressures of the work environment. He was also able to gradually distance himself from his manager's negative influence and achieve greater success. Story 3: Getting rid of gaslighting and rebuilding family relationships. Summary: Layla, a 40-year-old woman, was constantly under the influence of her father's gaslighting. Her father often told her that every decision she made was wrong and that she couldn't think for herself. This behavior made Layla feel worthless and isolated, and her relationships with her family members were disrupted. Challenges: Layla experienced negative emotions and social isolation. She had difficulty forming healthy relationships with others and felt that she could never speak her mind or defend her decisions. Solution: with the help of a family counselor and a psychologist, Layla learned effective communication techniques and actively worked to strengthen her family relationships. She also spoke openly with her family members and made her attitudes and needs clear. Result: over time, Layla was able to improve her family relationships and effectively deal with the negative effects of her father's gaslighting. She regained her confidence and achieved significant success in her personal and family life. In this chapter, we explored real-life stories of gaslighting victims, demonstrating how people have faced similar challenges and recovered. These stories show that with courage, the right support, and effective techniques, it is possible to escape gaslighting and lead a healthier life. In the following chapters, we will explore practical techniques and effective strategies for rebuilding confidence and improving relationships. Our goal is to help you get rid of the negative effects of gaslighting and live a healthier and happier life by providing useful and practical solutions. Final section and conclusion. Throughout this book, we have strived to comprehensively and accurately address the concept of gaslighting, its effects, and ways to deal with it. From introducing this psychological tactic and its consequences to sharing real stories from victims and practical solutions for prevention, our goal was to familiarize you with all aspects of this phenomenon and provide you with the tools to protect yourself against it. Summary of content. Gaslighting is a tactic used intentionally to make people doubt their understanding and memory. This tactic can deeply affect a person's psyche and mental health, leading to reduced self-confidence, depression, anxiety, and social isolation. In different chapters, we have examined these effects and shown how gaslighting can gradually lead to psychological crises. We have also explored practical solutions to identify and deal with gaslighting. By documenting events, consulting trusted people, building self-awareness, setting boundaries, and educating yourself, you can protect yourself from this tactic and achieve a healthier life. The true stories of gaslighting victims in this book demonstrate the power of rebuilding and healing after traumatic experiences and give you hope that with the right support and courage, you can escape gaslighting and lead a better, healthier life. Final message. In the end, we hope that the knowledge and strategies provided in this book will help you protect yourself and your loved ones from gaslighting and live a healthier life. Remember that gaslighting is a serious problem, but with awareness, support, and effective tools, you can deal with this destructive tactic and achieve peace of mind. Gaslighting should not control your life. By familiarizing yourself with its methods and strength,